Good afternoon from Mission Control Houston in the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where we are bringing you live coverage of the hatch opening and welcoming for the Soyuz MS-26 crew, comprised of NASA astronaut Don Pettit and his Roscosmos crewmates Alexey, Ovchinin, and Ivan Vagner. You're currently seeing a live look inside the Russian Mission Control Center in Koryov outside of Moscow in Russia. The teams here the teams there at the Russian Mission Control Center have overseen the operations of the Soyuz spacecraft following orbital insertion earlier today.
Is Alexey, could you repeat your last? There was a comm dropout.
The Soyuz MS-26 spacecraft was launched atop a Soyuz 2.1A booster rocket from Launch Pad 6, Site 31 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan earlier today at 11:23 a.m. Central Time, 12:23 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:23 p.m. in Baikonur. All three stages operated as expected during its 8-minute and 45-second ride to place Soyuz in its preliminary orbit. Following a quick 2-orbit, 3-hour transit, the spacecraft docked to the International Space Station's Rossviet module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, 2 p.m. Central, 3:32 p.m. Eastern, as the space station was flying 260 miles over central Ukraine. Since then, teams have been working through procedures to conduct leak checks and pressurization of the vestibule, which is the space between the Soyuz hatch and the station hatch that was previously exposed to the vacuum of space in preparation for the hatch opening just a few moments from now. We are expecting hatch opening to occur in just under 20 minutes or so at approximately 4:50 p.m. Central, 5:50 p.m. Eastern.
I'm closing KKT and working for item 793. Oleg showed us that they have a pressure on board 741, so closing RPV1 copy. 741 is in the orbital module. We're closed RPV1, sending S5 and then sending S6 in a minute. Ivan, yes, sending C5 and in 1 minute C6. Yes, and next we will be waiting for the BOSU hatch opening from the ISS side. Okay, copy.
And you're hearing some communications between the Soyuz crew and the Russian Mission Control Center as they work through those hatch opening procedures.
C5.
Here in Mission Control Houston, the Orbit 3 team of flight controllers came on console a couple hours ago, and they're currently on deck to support the hatch opening and welcoming of the Soyuz MS-26 crew. The flight control team here in Houston is currently being led by Flight Director Rick Hindling, and the station population will increase temporarily from 9 to 12 once Pettit, Ovchinin, and Vagner float on board the orbiting laboratory. Following hatch opening, short time from now, between the newly arrived Soyuz and the station, Pettit, Ovchinin, and Vagner, who you're seeing on your screen, will be greeted by the current space station commander Oleg Kononenko and his crewmates.
A few minutes more, and then we'll give you a go to open the hatch. Could you please activate cameras?
I'm sending C6 command. C6 is sent. Copy. Do SUBO. Alexey, wait for the hatch to be opened from the station side. So far, while you're waiting for it, please take note of the following in the ODF procedures. Okay, stand by 1 second.
And on your screen there, you can see an image of the current Expedition 71 crew Again, the Soyuz crew will be greeted by Station Commander Oleg Kononenko and his Roscosmos cosmonaut crewmates Nikolai Chub and Alexander Gurbankin, along with NASA astronauts Tracy Dyson, Matt Dominic, Michael Barrett, Jeanette Epps, Sonny Williams, and Butch Wilmore.
25. Which page did you say? Page 25 through page 38. 38. From 25 through 28, all in sequence. Yes. Copy. With the exception of the gas analyzer, we're not going to deactivate gas analyzer. Copy. With the exception of the gas analyzer, so on page 36, do not activate that item. Copy. As far as the cartridge change out in the purification module in the ESA is concerned, change P1 for P3. Okay, P1 to P3. P3, page 35, 35. Item 4.3 in the orbital flight book. Page 35, item 4.3. Am I correct? Yes, that is correct. I'm going to repeat it again. Swap P1 to P3. Where is the P3 stowed?
And flight controllers and the crew aboard Soyuz and station are continuing to coordinate the final series of leak checks at the docking interface between the Soyuz spacecraft and the Rosviet module.
Payload should be on the payload rack. Okay, sounds good. Copy all.
And those leak checks began about 2 hours ago as the three recently arrived crew members, Pettit, Ovchinin, and Vagner, took off their launch and entry suits following their launch to orbit and their to-orbit 3-hour journey to the International Space Station. They have now changed into some more comfortable flight clothing and are conducting those leak checks as the flight controllers are waiting for the pressure to be equalized on both sides of the docking interface.
Yes, clarify the following. P3 is
So I forgot to open the station hatch.
located in the Servant.
And we're standing by to see them go ahead and open that station hatch. And you're now getting a live look inside the International Space Station where you can see that hatch right in the center of your screen.
I opened it, so I see P3. Okay, while they're opening the hatch. In the 757 transfer Alpha to M. And where do we transfer it from? From the MLM. MLM? From MLM. From NBMP, which number? And 3 IPK masks. Where are they located? BMP 19 and IPK. Are they in the MRAM 1? Okay, let us take a
You can now see that they have opened that station hatch, and on your screen there is Roscosmos cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko, who is currently serving as the space station's commander.
It's all located in the MLM Pago 1. Alexey, along plane 1. Copy. Sounds good. While we still have some time, a reminder, your spacesuit, you're going to place it for drying out 7 into vehicle 75.
MRM 1 SO hatch is open and cover deck valve is in the electrical control. Copy, Alex. Thank you that the hatch is open and the cover deck valve is in the electrical control. Thank you.
Ignat, do you have any further instructions for us? Yes, I have a couple more items for you. And then you can start opening the hatch. You need to set up in the bill because the SU cover. Also, Unit 2, number 8 is currently in MRM1. Set it in the bill. Okay, got it. And upon completion of the vehicle deactivation, report the results to the ground. Copy. We have the message that the hatch is open from the station side. Perform steps per page 7070 and item 793. Opening ККТ. Opened ККТ. Opening КВД. КВД-БОСУ is illuminated. Copy. Monitoring pressure equalization.
And with the hatch on the International Space Station side now open, we are just standing by for the hatch on the Soyuz side of that docking interface to be opened. And then the 3 crew members currently aboard the Soyuz will officially be welcomed aboard the International Space Station following their launch earlier today at 11:23 a.m. Central, 12:23 p.m. Eastern from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan.
Alesha, what's up? The pressure is decreasing but slowly. Right now it's
the pressure is dropping slowly. 795.
So we
50
need
millimeters.
50 more
Yes, that's
millimeters, 50. That's correct.
For those of you who are just joining us, we are live in the International Space Station Flight Control Room, bringing you live coverage of the hatch opening of the Soyuz MS-23.
Can you hear that?
The hatch on the station side has been open, and we're just standing by for the hatch opening of the Soyuz.
Very audible, but the fans are working here. Oh yes, now we can hear some maybe low frequency sound. Is it your music playing, right, Alec?
Pressure
Okay, we have 780
already.
780 millimeters. Now we can
That
hear.
we heard.
Well, this is our
That's our invention. It's called KTO music.
the special unit KTO speaker. It is empty KTO that is double working as a speaker. So you're putting a speaker inside? Yes, that's correct. I think you will like it. No doubt.
The Soyuz MS-26 spacecraft is carrying NASA astronaut Don Pettit and his Roscosmos crewmates Alexey Ovchinin and Ivan Vagner. They arrived to the International Space Station and docked to the station's Rossviet module about 2 hours ago at 2:32 p.m. Central, 3:32 p.m. Eastern. Since then, teams have been working through procedures to conduct leak checks at the docking interface between the Soyuz spacecraft and the Rossviet module and complete some pressurization steps. The crew aboard the Soyuz also had the chance to take off their launch and entry suits following their launch and docking to the International Space Station and have changed into more comfortable flight clothing. And now they are just waiting to be welcomed aboard the International Space Station to complete their 2-orbit 3-hour journey and subsequent leak checks. And currently on your screen is the current commander of the International Space Station, Oleg Kononenko. He is commander for Expedition 71, which will go through September 23rd.
20 minutes, 20 millimeters.
It is moving on.
That sounds like equalization.
What time is the conference?
What time is your?
So we are actually
Well, we're
ahead
actually
of the
ahead of schedule. Let me double check.
And that Expedition 72 will kick off following the departure of NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson and her Roscosmos crewmates aboard the Soyuz MS-25 spacecraft.
Well, Wi-Fi is not too good here.
22:30, I think Wi-Fi is not working very well here.
30 is some minutes.
Oh, yeah, we have time.
Well,
we'll be on time.
We'll make it on time.
The off-going station commander, Oleg Kononenko, again on your screen, will have completed a year-long expedition once he departs on the Soyuz MS-26-25 on September 23rd, along with Nikolai Chub and Tracy Dyson.
When are we going to perform 8.3? Later? Let me ask.
And then NASA astronaut Don Pettit and his crewmates, Alexey Ovchinin and Ivan Vagner, will spend approximately 6 months aboard the orbiting laboratory to conduct some scientific research as part of Expeditions 71 and 72.
Commerce itself after you open the hatch.
Assets. After the hatch is open.
Okay.
Then
Yes,
you will
and
come
then
back after
later
the
we'll come
conference.
back and turn it back on. Yes, please make sure you don't forget about
Alexey,
day
after the
3.
conference, you will come back and will
Okay.
deactivate the com assets.
On our side, pressure is 750. That's in Soyuz. Copy.
And this is Pettit and Ovchinin's fourth spaceflight and Vagner's second. Pettit was selected as an astronaut by NASA in 1996, and across his 3 previous flights, Pettit served as the NASA science officer for Expedition 6 in 2003, and he operated the robotic arm for STS-126 in 2008, and then served as a flight engineer for Expeditions 30 and 31 in 2012, where he lived aboard the International Space Station for more than a year. Pettit's launch and docking today mirrors that of Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov, who is scheduled to launch the station as part of the SpaceX Crew 9 Dragon later this month, providing a reciprocal crew exchange capability to maintain safe and continuous space station operations. Again, we are standing by for the opening of the Soyuz hatch to welcome the trio of astronauts, Pettit, Ovchinin, and Vagner aboard the International Space Station. The flight control team, as well as the crew aboard Soyuz and the International Space Station, are just working through some final steps and procedures to make sure the pressure is equalized on both sides before that final hatch can be opened.
We have 745. Well, the closer to the required number, the slower it comes. That's correct. Yes. We need to wait for the value that would allow us to hold it for 2 minutes. That's exactly what we're doing. Oh, you're having fun, guys. I will join you very soon.
Yeah, so
Well,
we are actually tired waiting.
We keep waiting. Our pressure is 745 and it's stable for the second minute. Copy. Waiting for one more minute. Okay.
For those of you who are just joining us, we are standing by for the hatch opening and welcoming of the Soyuz MS-26 crew, comprised of NASA astronaut Don Pettit and his Roscosmos cosmonaut crewmates, Alexey, Ovchinin, and Ivan Vagner. The trio launched atop the Soyuz 2.1A booster from Launch Pad 6, Site 31 in Baikonur earlier today at 11:23 a.m. Central, 12:23 p.m. Eastern. They then docked after a two-orbit 3-hour transit at 2:32 p.m. Central, 3:32 p.m. Eastern. And since then, teams have been working through procedures to conduct leak checks and pressurization. And we're standing by for the hatch opening and welcoming of the newly arrived Soyuz MS-26 crew. Once the hatches are open between the newly arrived Soyuz and the International Space Station, Pettit, Ovchinin, and Vagner will be greeted by the space station's current commander, Oleg Kononenko, who you see there on your screen, along with his crewmates, Roscosmos cosmonauts Nikolai Chub and Alexander Grabenkin, along with NASA astronauts Tracy Dyson, Matt Dominic, Michael Barrett, Jeanette Epps, Sonny Williams, and Butch Wilmore, who comprise the Expedition 71 crew. They will then receive some congratulatory welcoming remarks from teams in Baikonur, along with the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow and the flight director here in Mission Control Houston. And now we see that Soyuz hatch beginning to open, standing by for crew to come on board. The hatch separating the International Space Station and Soyuz was opened at 4:58 p.m. Central, 5:58 p.m. Eastern to officially welcome the Soyuz MS-26 crew aboard the International Space Station.
Алексей, вы пока на связи находитесь, напомню вам, пункт 8.3 выполнить перед тем, как уйти в орбитальный бред.
Alexey, don't forget step 8.3.
And there's NASA astronaut Don Pettit flying in to the International Space Station on your screen now. And he was followed by Roscosmos cosmonaut Ivan Vagner. And coming up in the back is the Soyuz commander and Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexey Ovchinin. And there we go with the final of the trio aboard the Soyuz MS-26. The Soyuz commander for today, Alexey Ovchinin, being greeted by his Roscosmos crewmates. And with the crew officially aboard the International Space Station, they will go ahead and set up and stand by to receive some congratulatory welcoming remarks from the teams in Baikonur, as well as the Russian Mission Control Center in Koryov outside of Moscow, and then finally from the team here in Mission Control Houston, led by Flight Director Rick Hinfling. So to recap, the Soyuz MS-26 spacecraft carrying NASA astronaut Don Pettit and his Roscosmos crewmates Alexey Ovchinin and Ivan Vagner launched atop a Soyuz 2.1A booster from Launch Pad 6, Site 31 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan earlier today at 11:23 a.m. Central Time, 12:23 p.m. Eastern Time. All three stages operated as expected during an 8-minute 45-second ride to place Soyuz in its preliminary orbit. Following a short 2-orbit, 3-hour journey to the International Space Station, the spacecraft docked to the station's Rosviet module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment at 2:32 p.m. Central, 3:32 p.m. Eastern, as the space station was flying 260 miles over central Ukraine.
One for Nikolai regarding TV.
Since then, teams have worked through procedures to conduct leak checks and pressurization, and the hatches between Soyuz and the International Space Station were officially opened at 4:58 p.m. Central, 5:58 p.m. Eastern.
We will complete operations in the vehicle and we'll activate the camera.
Following hatch opening, Pettit, Ovchinin, and Vagner were greeted by the space station's current commander, Roscosmos cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko, along with his crewmates, Roscosmos cosmonauts Nikolai Chub and Alexander Grabenkin, along with NASA astronauts Tracy Dyson, Matt Dominic, Michael Barrett, Jeanette Epps, Sonny Williams, and Butch Wilmore. We are now standing by for them to receive some congratulatory welcoming remarks, which are expected in just a few minutes from now. We will hear those remarks from the teams in Baikonur, as well as the teams in the Mission Control Center just outside of Moscow, as well as Mission Control Houston.
Moscow Station, I'm Burlak 1. Moscow Station, this is Burlak 1. Sergey, I'm performing step 8.3. I'm deactivating the COM in Soyuz vehicle. Copy, sounds good? Moscow Station on stage ground 1. Go ahead on stage ground 1. Sergey, I wanted to clarify. In BO, we have purification units operating right now, so should we leave them as is? Yes, leave them as is, and please get ready for the PO event. Okay, so I will deactivate the purification units later, right? Yes, that's correct.
We are currently standing by for the welcoming remarks for the newly arrived Soyuz 26 crew, comprised of NASA astronaut Don Pettit and Roscosmos cosmonauts Alexey, Ovchinin, and Ivan Vagner. They recently flew aboard the International Space Station, with the hatch opening taking place at 4:58 p.m. Central, 5:58 p.m. Eastern.
Экипаж МКС по Москве в канале СГ-1 по ТВ-репортажу.
Station Moscow on SG1 for media event. Just a moment, Sergey.
Ждем.
Okay, we are waiting. Moscow, we activated the camera and we are gathering together.
Принято, да, вот сейчас что-то пытается
Copy. We are trying to get a signal from you. No, it's still off. We're just waiting for the people to gather. Okay, we are ready.
And we are continuing to stand by as the crew aboard the International Space Station is getting set up with a camera and mic for those welcoming remarks aboard the International Space Station to welcome the Soyuz MS-26 crew aboard and officially part of the Expedition 71 for a couple of weeks before Expedition 72 kicks off following the departure of the Soyuz MS-25.
Экипаж МКС Ступа Москвы в канале СГ-1.
Station Moscow on SG1 for the media event.
Мы как будем готовы, мы выйдем, хорошо?
Sergey, as soon as we are ready, we'll call you.
Ага. И
Okay.
предупреждаем, что мы включаем электронный СМ.
And we just want to let you know that we'll activate electron system in the SM. Copy.
And the crew is now getting set up for those welcoming remarks, and we'll be standing by to hear those remarks from Baikonur, as well as the Russian Mission Control in Moscow and Mission Control Houston.
Moscow station, we are all gathered and we are ready. Copy. Okay, can you hear us? Yes, we can hear and see all of you. We just don't see Kolya. He's hiding over there. Moscow, we are ready. Station, good evening. This is Dmitry Kalashnikov from MCC Moscow. Greetings to you. Good evening. Greetings to all ISS crew from the Russian flight control team, and we're glad to see Alexey, Ivan, and Donald as part of your crew, and we're hoping for productive work during your half-year mission. Good afternoon. Thank you for these kind words. Thank you. We are going to have a handover now. You will be preparing for work, and Oleg Dmitrievich will be preparing for return. And you have a lot of people now on the station, and it's great to see you all. I wish you good luck, good training, and return back. Thanks a lot. And Svetlana Mironova wants to join me in these greetings. She is the lead flight director. Congratulations, Alexey, Ivan, and Donald on the arrival and beginning of the new expedition. We are glad to see you all and have a great evening. And I'm giving the mic to Glavny now. Thank you. I'm glad to hear you as well. I also wish you a great mission. Congratulations on your arrival, and hopefully you'll get all your objectives completed. And I'm giving the floor to Houston. Thank you, Sergey.
Station, this is Houston on Space Ground 1. On behalf of the entire team in MCC Houston, congratulations to Don, Alexey, and Ivan on their successful launch and return to the ISS, and in so doing, contributing to today's new record of having 19 humans in Earth orbit simultaneously. Godspeed to the newly expanded crew of Expedition 71.
Thanks very much for those great words. Expedition 71 has been a continuous adventure, and this is another part of that adventure that we've been looking forward to for a long time. It's great to get our guys up here and setting this record. It's just great to be up here for now. And I'm going to let Don say a few words here. And he's saying hello. He's home again.
Yeah, it's great to see Don back up there in his happy place. So station, please stand by for MCC Moscow.
Guys, congratulations again on your arrival. The event is over. Unless you have any words to say. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Great, and see you next time. You may deactivate the video.
Following a launch earlier today at 11:23 a.m. Central, 12:23 p.m. Eastern from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, that set the Soyuz MS-26 spacecraft up for its 2-orbit, 3-hour journey. NASA astronaut Don Pettit and